The other important food or food-like substance to avoid are the trans fats, and specifically the industrialized trans fats. And by that I mean those that are made in a factory, those that are made with chemicals. Now, if you go back to eating real food, you've already avoided these because these aren't real food, and that's part of the problem. These are made in a laboratory by adding hydrogen bonds onto the natural chemical structure. And why do they do that? It improves the shelf life. These things can last forever. Just think about Twinkies. It improves the taste, unfortunately, because it does make them hyperpalatable. So food companies want to use these trans fats because it also makes it cheaper. But unfortunately, trans fats, time and time again, have been shown to increase the risk of cancer, increase the risk of heart disease, to increase oxidation and inflammation, all the things we want to avoid. So there's no controversy that industrialized trans fats need to be avoided. This is one aspect where society in general has been improving things. They have been trying to limit the amount of trans fats that are allowed and showing on the nutritional information how much trans fats is in the food you're about to eat. And that's very important. Transparency is so important. So whenever you buy something that's in a package, you have to look at the back and look for that trans fats and make sure it says 0, because every little bit counts and adds up. So where are you going to see your trans fats? You're going to see them in canned biscuits and cinnamon rolls. You're going to see them in pie crusts, the pre-made cookies and cakes. You're going to see them in your deep fried foods, specifically your French fries, your fried chicken. You'll find them in your tortilla chips, your potato chips. And here's one of the keys. You still want to look at the ingredients, because if it has 0.3 grams of trans fats, it could still be 0. And if you're eating bags and bags of this stuff, you're still getting too many trans fats. So what you want to look for are partially hydrogenated oils, because that's where the trans fats come from. So it's good that it says 0, but take it one step further and make sure there are no partially hydrogenated oils. But remember, if you're focusing on real foods, vegetable-based, Mediterranean style, you've already avoided the industrialized trans fats. One very important concept when it comes to trans fats is understanding the difference between industrialized trans fats and ruminant trans fats. Now, those are big names, but the industrialized trans fats are those that are made in a factory, those that are made with chemicals by adding the hydrogen bonds onto the natural chemical structure. The ruminant trans fats are naturally occurring trans fats that we see in our ruminant animals, mostly cows and sheep and the like. There's no controversy at all that we need to avoid those industrialized trans fats because they're involved with inflammation, oxidation, and lead to heart disease and cancer. The ruminant trans fats, little more controversy there. It doesn't have the same level of evidence showing a clear relationships to detrimental health. So when we talk about trans fats, we can't really talk about it as one blanket statement, but we should definitely refer to it as the industrialized trans fats, which need to be avoided, and the ruminant trans fats, which we need more information and we'll talk more about.